Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are on episode 4 of our AI Agent Skills series, and this one is all about actually building your very first skill from scratch. If you have been watching the previous episodes, you already know what skills are and why they matter. Now it is time to get your hands dirty and make one. Let me start with a simple but powerful idea. Most people use AI by typing whatever comes to mind and hoping for the best. But the people who get the most out of AI have figured out how to encode their work, their rules, their process, their standards, into reusable instructions. That is exactly what a skill is. It turns your expertise into something your AI can apply consistently, every single time. Before you write a single line of your skill, there are 4 questions worth asking yourself. First, do you do this task frequently? If you repeat something at least once a week, it is worth automating. Second, does the result need to meet a specific standard? If there are rules, like a certain format, tone, or structure, a skill can enforce those. Third, can you explain the process to someone else? If you can walk someone through the steps, you can write a skill. And fourth, is this the kind of work that AI can actually help with? Things like writing, organizing data, generating code, text-based tasks are the sweet spot. All right, let us walk through the 3 steps of building a skill. Step 1 is naming your skill and writing its description. These 2 things are more important than they might seem. The name should be short and in English, something like weekly report or brand PPTX. Avoid long or complicated names. The description is where the real work happens. This is what your AI reads to decide whether to activate your skill. So it needs to say clearly, when should I use this skill? What words or situations should trigger it? A vague description like report skill is not helpful. A good description sounds more like, use this skill when the user asks for a weekly report. Trigger keywords include weekly report and weekly update. Step 2 is writing the body of your skill, the actual instructions. Think of it as a structured document with 4 parts. The first part is the goal, one clear sentence describing what the skill should produce. The second part is the steps, a numbered list of exactly what to do in order. The third part is rules, the standards and constraints that must always be followed. Things like font choices, formatting rules, or tone guidelines. And the fourth part is tools, any libraries or external skills that should be called as part of the process. Let me show you a concrete example. Imagine you want to build a skill for writing weekly reports. Here is what the skill file might look like. The goal: generate a weekly work summary as a .docs file. The steps: ask the user for their key accomplishments this week. Organize them by category: development, marketing, and operations. Then add a section for next week's plan, and finally use the doc skill to produce the document. The rules: always include the date range in the title. Use a one-line summary followed by details for each item, and keep the tone concise and objective. That is a complete, working skill. Short, specific, and actionable. Step 3 is testing and refining. Once you have saved your skill file, try using it for real. Ask your AI to do the task, and see if the skill gets triggered and applied correctly. Check the output. Does it meet your standards? Is anything missing or off? Then go back to your skill file, make adjustments, and test again. Here is the important thing. Do not expect perfection on the first try. 2 or 3 rounds of revision is completely normal. Each iteration makes your skills sharper and more reliable. If you are not sure where to start, here are 4 types of skills that are great for beginners. A meeting notes skill is very doable. Just define the structure: date, attendees, agenda, decisions, and action items. An email drafting skill works well too. Pick a few common scenarios like requests, announcements, or thank you notes, and define the tone for each. A data cleanup skill, where you take a CSV and transform it into a formatted spreadsheet, is a solid intermediate challenge. And a blog post skill, where you take a topic and produce an SEO-structured article, is another good option. All of these are concrete, testable, and genuinely useful. Now let us talk about the mistakes that almost everyone makes at first. The first one is trying to put too many tasks into a single skill. If your skill does 5 different things, your AI gets confused about when to use it and how to apply it. Start with 1 task per skill. The second mistake is a description that is too vague. If your description just says makes reports, your AI has no idea when to activate it. Be specific about the trigger words. The third mistake is writing instructions that are too abstract. Just do a good job is not a step. Ask the user for their 3 key wins from this week, then format them as a numbered list with a 1-line summary and a detail sentence. That is a step. The more concrete you are, the better the output. Let me wrap up with the key points from today. A skill is worth building when the task is repetitive, has clear standards, and can be explained step by step. When naming your skill, keep it short and in English. In the description, tell your AI exactly when to activate the skill. Be specific. In the body, cover the goal, the steps, the rules, and the tools. And after you build it, test it at least 2 or 3 times, and refine based on what you see. Start simple. Meeting notes or email templates are perfect first skills. That's it for today. See you in the next one.